Whether you're a youngster or an older individual, what exactly is this cloud? The ironic part is many of you on the way here, like our team, we're on Wi-Fi on an airplane. Think about that. You're at 35,000 feet, okay? You're on the internet. You're using Dropbox. You're using Evernote. You're using Google Drive. Heck, our security officer was logged on to Ames, making sure everything was okay. You're actually more in the clouds than the actual servers, right? Think about that, okay? So another point that people make is, there really isn't a cloud, it's just someone else's computer. Okay, that's right, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, so from a cloud perspective, there's really three types of models, okay? And some people say there are four. So many of you are leveraging your enterprise cloud, for example, which may be a data center consolidated in your jurisdiction, okay? Naturally, I would hope you don't have those servers in a closet next to your office, right? Then you've got the hybrid cloud. And the hybrid cloud is a combination where, you know, there's what they call the fence sitters. I'm not really sure if I'm in the cloud or I'm not, or in the public cloud or the private cloud, but I'll do a little mixture of both. Maybe use it for backups. And then, of course, you have the other environment, cloud. And there are some jurisdictions that are moving in that direction. But naturally, you've got what they call the box huggers. The box huggers are those folks that, no, it's my server, I don't want to let go of it, right? Then you've got the fence sitters that are, I'm not really sure. And then you've got the folks that are progressive, like some of the agencies that we'll talk about today, including this organization right here, APHL and its members, a progressive organization focused on using the best technology, including cloud computing. Let's talk about the history of cloud. 1950s, mainframe, time sharing. Some folks are laughing here like they know what I'm talking about, or they've seen it, right? So mainframes and time sharing servers, right? Where multiple people share a server, okay, and the server provides some sort of input. Then you look at 1969, right? So we got ARPANET, 4 geographically dispersed servers. How do we get them to talk to each other, okay? What happened then? The internet. This is a heat map of internet activity throughout the world today. 1970s, clients and servers. You send a request to a server, the server sends back a response. Then this is the interesting one. In the 90s, you had techies trying to explain to non-technical people something what they consider very complicated, or something they really weren't sure about. So you started to see this image of the cloud in slides. And that cloud meant question mark. I have no idea what's happening in the middle here, but we're just going to leave it as a cloud. And that's what we started seeing in the 1990s. In cloud computing, or cloud, the cloud word was being used more and more in the technology field. This is one of my favorites, 1996. Historians out of DC say that this is the first time that an organization, Compaq, for example, used the word cloud computing in a slide deck when they were working on getting their applications to the cloud. So this is actually saved at the Library of Congress. That's the first time it was documented in terms of cloud computing. Then, of course, Google and other organizations started coining the term. Salesforce.com, I'm sure many of you use or heard of it, and it's actually for sale. It is the first software as a service solution on the cloud. Okay, so they really broke down barriers tremendously. Amazon, 2002, Mechanical Turk, and also having the ability to store data on Amazon.com. 2006, they sat in a room, Jeff Bezos sat in a room and said, wait a minute, we're really good at this data center thing. We've actually become really efficient. We can lower costs. And my IT guys say we have a lot of capacity, a lot of room. Why don't we lease out some of our space to people? So in 2006, they came out with the EC2, or Elastic Compute, okay? Which today is the most advanced computing in cloud computing. Amazon just came out with a recent report in Q1. They're estimated to make $6 billion in revenue, and they also say they're going to be profitable, which is very interesting. These are some of the solutions that many of you may recognize. Okay, so over the evolution, back from the days of mainframe and time sharing through ARPANET, all of us use these. SkyDrive, Google Drive, iCloud. Some of the more popular ones like Evernote, Basecamp, Box, naturally Office 360. Many of the jurisdictions and agencies are migrating to that. That's on the cloud. It's not down the street or in a closet on a server. So we're using the cloud today. So, as mentioned, there are three models. You've got software as a service, okay, where people like us, end users, go online and use a tool. You've got infrastructure as a service. This is the first one, where we leverage infrastructure, like on Amazon or Microsoft Azure or Google, to place our solution. And then you've got the one in the middle, platform as a service. You've got a great group of developers, and you have certain tools. Well, why not develop on the cloud? This is just what I consider a staggering number, and I'll read it. Cloud market is expected to grow to $121 billion, right? Dollars by 2015, a 26% compound annual growth from the $37 billion. This is the market telling us the time is now. It's happening. Educate yourselves, right? Go to events like this. Take notes. Go back to your CIO and say, let's talk cloud, okay? And one of the reasons we provided this presentation is for you to take this with you as ammunition, to talk to your leadership and talk to your project managers and your CIOs and educate them. And my colleagues will talk about benefits and challenges in a few minutes. So I mentioned Amazon Web Services. I mentioned Microsoft Azure. I mentioned Google. Many of you have heard of Media Temple, Rackspace. Amazon's in the lead. Okay, the recent statistic is that Amazon has the compute power, 5 times the compute power of the next 14 providers on this magic quadrant. They're ahead of the game. And one of the challenges is that Amazon has gotten so good at it that it's forcing folks like Microsoft and Google to get better at it and lower their cost, which is a good thing. This is competition. So if you're looking for a cheap option that's still highly technical, Google's going to give you a good deal. So is Microsoft. And they're great at it as well. So we have options, and folks like us like options. So you can compare, look at budgets, and they'll work with you. At the end of the day, it's about productivity versus security. The beauty of cloud computing is that it allows you to be more productive, but you can use that energy that you've saved on maybe the more important things like security and compliance, those things that people are worried about. So increased productivity allows you to focus on those things, again, like security, like compliance, certifications, that are critical, and there are questions that you're going to be asked when you mention the word cloud computing. This here is an actual picture of a doctor's office. His servers are in a closet, okay? Personally, I'd rather him have his servers on the cloud, okay? Actual picture. I don't want my doctor worrying about whether the servers or the internet bandwidth is up or down, okay? This here's a picture of one of our colleagues. Jeff Couch, one of the best integration engineers on the planet. He's not a server guy. He actually got stuck in the rack here, okay? Right? Even to the professionals, right, Jeff? Okay? Here's another one where he's smiling with an Ethernet cable. That's dangerous, right? Once again, this is when we had a server or servers at the Federal Reserve in Jacksonville. What is the U.S. government doing? The U.S. government's Cloud First initiative is, hey, if you're an agency, consider going to the cloud first. It might not work for you right away. That's okay, but give it a try. Okay, give it a try. And they're working through the FedRAMP program to have authorized cloud providers like AWS or CGI or Azure. An example is Amazon Web Services GovCloud, used a lot by the Department of Defense for anti-trafficking of firearms. One of the most secure environments on the planet. NASA, using the cloud. USDA, using the cloud. The Pentagon, using the cloud. The CIA announced at AWS reInvent that they are on the cloud. They got up on stage and looked at, we are on the cloud. This is the CIA. Now let's talk about an example. Okay? Let's talk about AIMS, formerly known as the R&R Hub. Originally created for the use case, for example, for FLIP, LIMSI, total success. Pretty much all 50 jurisdictions and private labs are on the AIMS platform. Started off with bare metal servers, we're on the cloud today. Okay? In addition to the initial foundational point or technology of FinMS, this is the functional architecture. This is what we have today over the last 7 to 8 years. And at this point, I'd like the AIMS team and the technical assistance team and Michelle and Patina to stand up for a round of applause, please. It started off with an idea, obviously supported by many stakeholders like the CDC. Started off with an idea to get data from point A to point B electronically and secure. Okay? This is a hub of national significance. This is a hub that is in production. This is a hub that has gone through a FSMA moderate audit. This is a hub that has a business associate agreement with AWS. This is a hub that we're proud to say has completed 2 penetration tests, where the penetration tester recently, as of last week, said, this is an ultra-secure environment. Okay? This is a hub, as I said, of national significance available for you all. FedRAMP compliant, FSMA moderate compliant. We started off with 5 servers, $1,000. Okay? Okay, not too bad, $1,000 a month. All right, not too bad. Today I heard we have anywhere between 70 and 80 servers. Okay, obviously some has to do with disaster recovery and R&D, so in a cloud computing environment, you can shut down servers, save money, and bring them up when you need them. So let's say anywhere between 70 and 80 servers. Can anyone in the room tell me how much we spend a month? Anyone in the room? Sir? Same price? Not quite, but close. $2,000, okay? So cloud computing has allowed us to have more at our fingertips. It has allowed us to make mistakes. And what I mean by that is you spin up a server with a great tool. Dari says, hey, let's set up a LIMS on Ames. No problem, Dari, let's do it. And we mess up the configuration. We didn't follow the guide correctly. It's okay, we're human. Shut it down. Shut it down. Bring up a new one. That is one of the benefits of being on the cloud. It allows you to make errors. It allows you to recover quickly. Ames platform today is in 2 regions. It is in East and West region, and it's also on GovCloud. Within each region, it is in multi-availability zones. GovCloud is monitored by some of the best security folks in the nation. Okay? We'll get to that in a second. The best security folks in the nation, the same folks that told me that were monitoring this room and told me that 145 either networks, air cards, or phones are not protected. Okay? These are the same folks that are monitoring the Ames platform today. And let me give you an example. December 23rd, Lizard Mafia or Lizard Squad. They were trying to penetrate Sony PlayStation. They were successful. And Xbox. And what they do is they go around the world and they use other people's servers as bots and agents to then, have more horsepower. December 23rd, they tried to penetrate our system. Our system shut down, self-remediated, and brought up a system within minutes with no downtime. Okay? That's an example that happened December 23rd. And it's happening. It happens all the time. But naturally, public health is not a game, right? We're not Sony PlayStation. We're not Xbox. And we take that seriously. These are some of the tools, and these slides will be available for you. So our Uber monitoring, basically is a group of 12 tools. Some are open source, some are proprietary, that we use to monitor the Ames platform. And these will be made available to you for your reference. Naturally, we would love to be like Tony Stark, right? And have these cool glass windows where we can monitor our infrastructure. But for now, we'll have to do with some real cool dashboards. So we've got a team that monitors these dashboards. We've got a team that receives text messages. We've got a team that receives emails every day, 365, that says something is fishy, let's go. The beauty is that our system self-remediates, but it doesn't matter. We still want to go and do some forensic investigations, and we're constantly monitoring. And lastly, we're proud to say we are working with the CDC in the AMD project, genomic sequencing. And this example is another one where their security requirements are very stringent. We're talking about 15 to 20 gigs of data, okay? Just one example before I finish. We were able to move from Wisconsin to the CDC 15 gigs of genomic data in less than 1 hour, securely through a HIPAA pipe to GovCloud. Find me someone else that can do that. And lastly, the cloud is there. You may be excited. One day maybe you'll love the cloud like us. But you have to know what you're getting into, just like an airplane. There's a cloud in the horizon. Understand that there are risks, and the next two gentlemen will go over some of those risks and put you in a better position to go back and love the cloud. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. That was fantastic. Well, I'm now pleased to introduce our second panelist, Mr.